I'm Judy. I'm 17 years old now. I'm located in Belgium. I'm a copywriter slash growth operator. I'm leaning towards growth operator, but I started as a copywriter. I started in 2022 when I was 15. I found out about copywriting and I wanted to try it because at the time we were struggling financially and I couldn't keep working jobs to help my mom. So again, my journey for credibility, nothing else. I'm not going to be talking about me the entire time just for credibility. So this is actually a very funny story. A few months before I actually started copywriting, I started getting Andrew Tate on my For You page. That something that a lot of people have in common. Like they saw Andrew Tate's videos and that's how they got into online business. So that was the case for me. I started seeing his videos and even my mom started sending me his videos. She was like, look, this man, what he's saying, he's right. And for me, it was life-changing advice because up until that point, I've never heard anything else before. I've always only focused on school, only ever focused on, it's not even, I didn't even have big goals in life. All I knew was, okay, I got to finish school and that's it, right? So when I heard what he had to say, I was like, this is so different. I need to hear more from this man. And so I got into this rabbit hole of online business, making money online, becoming a millionaire, whatever. I decided to take this seriously. I was like, okay, you know what? I really want to become rich or at least help my mom financially and actually do something about it instead of just watching these motivational videos. And so I started looking at this stuff that I can do that's entry level. And I came across video editing, but not long form, but short form. At the time, shorts were really popping off. A lot of people were noticing that shorts were going viral. So I decided to become an editor for shorts. And a few weeks later, I got my first client and I started getting $50 per week. I don't know how much that is in euro right now, but I finally had some proof that online making money online is real. Okay, like the way to, especially if you're a beginner, if you haven't made any money yet, the way to prove to yourself that it's possible is by making your first dollar online. Even if it's 1 cent, even if it's 2 cents, if you have proof that it's possible to make money online, you will succeed even faster. So I think it was around the last few weeks of November, the FIFA World Cup started. And like before that, I didn't have that much motivation to keep going down this route of online business. But when I started watching the FIFA World Cup with my mom, I was just thinking to myself, how is it that there's so much money flowing towards something that's not even that relevant? Okay. I'm not saying that football is not relevant. Don't come for me if you watch football. I also used to watch football. But basically, I'm just saying that how is it that millions and millions are flowing towards something that's not even that life-changing, that's not gonna help people change their lives. It's just entertainment on TV. Why is it that there's so much money flowing towards that and we can't even have a fraction of it, right? It just motivated me. Like, there's so much money out there. If there's so much money being spent on something like this, then obviously I can have at least a fraction of it. I can at least have 1 million per year, right? As you can see, November 9th all the way until December 25th. I don't know if it continued, I don't remember, but it was this plus a job because at the time I really needed money. This is the $50 per week that I was talking about all the way. Like it started in November 9th. It went all the way to December 25th. I don't remember if it continued after that, but either way, this was a big amount of money for me at the time because I was just broke. And I also had a job that I looked for. I would go every day after school looking for jobs because I needed it. My mom needed it as well. And so I had an income of 350 or something like that at least per month, which was really good. So then I decided, like, why don't I invest it in something that's going to help me in the long run, right? Because I can't just sit here surviving off of free YouTube videos, free copywriting YouTube videos. There's got to be more, right? After a few months, I think 7 months of hard work, of trying to figure it out, after trying multiple outreach methods, reaching out to 50 people per day, I finally got my first client and I finally know what works and what doesn't when it comes to outreach. And I actually got her permission to talk about her in this workshop today. Her name is Jen Schneider, and she was my first ever client. We had a one-time project for $500. Again, I don't know how much that is in euros, but I was like, okay, like this is starting to get serious. I know how to reach out now. I can get more clients. I can scale. I can get a bigger income. This is starting to get serious, and I finally know how, right? And by the way, this didn't include any coaching or mentorship, so I pretty much did everything on my own. This was just copywriting. This wasn't outreach. This wasn't anything like that. I figured out the rest on my own, which is proof that you don't really need a mentor or a coach all the time. It's just going to take you a bit longer, but it's not necessary like all these YouTubers are telling you, like you need a coach, otherwise you won't make it. So this is my first client, and this was my routine for about a year and a half until recently I changed it up. I no longer wake up at 4. But yeah, I would wake up at 4 or 5 and then practice copywriting and then outreach to 50 prospects and then go to school full time and then work from 5 to 9 p.m. And then I would repeat that every single day. Okay. However, I wouldn't have been able to do this if I didn't fix my mindset first. If I didn't fix the way that I thought at the time, if I didn't fix all my beliefs that I had up until that time, I wouldn't have been able to do this. I was obsessed with video games, all the video games that you can think of, Team Fortress 2, Overwatch, Fortnite, League, whatever you can think of. I was so addicted. I would also watch shows on Netflix. I pretty much had no goals. At the time, all I knew is, again, school, video games, sleep, eat. That's it. I slacked off even when it came to schoolwork. I would not do my homework. My grades were really bad. So I pretty much had nothing going for me, right? I'm not saying that I've made a huge transformation, but it's pretty big considering that I was such a nerd, right? I'm not saying that I'm the best copywriter in the world. I'm not saying that I'm the most productive person in the world, but it's a pretty huge transformation compared to how I was previously. So now I make content on YouTube. I've had over 6 copywriting clients in total over the 1.5 years. I work with Nabil on Copyskills and I've achieved all my goals for 2024. So it's a pretty huge transformation that I made in a few months from being an absolute nerd with nothing going for me to someone that is actually productive and has a goal in life. So throughout this entire transformation, throughout this entire time, I've never had to meditate or take a cold shower to achieve this. I've never meditated or done a 13-step morning routine in order to achieve this or in order to start my work because that's just so unnecessary. And you probably know that already. If you've ever tried any of those morning routines for productivity, you know that these don't work. These are just a waste of time, and you should absolutely not make your morning routine so long. I did all of this without coaching or mentorship, all from continuous experimenting and continuous experience. So, yeah, okay. All this stuff I will be saying in this workshop has a 100% success rate. And I promise this, but only if it's done consistently. Okay. So, quick disclaimer, you might be disappointed by how simple the stuff in this workshop is because there's no magic involved, right? I'm not a wizard. It's just that simple, okay? And you might be disappointed because I will be telling you stuff that you probably already know, and your brain will start making excuses. But I want to remove those excuses today and actually get straight to it. Okay, so part 1, we're finally getting into it. Enough with the intro. The reason you're struggling to make progress.